Hey, it's Wendy, and welcome to 700 follower Q&A video. So, 700 followers. Wow. I was excited when I broke 40. I never thought I'd get this far. So, anyway, thank you all so much for following me, and let's get started with the video. Alright, so the first question is by Golden Platypus Plus. Hey, Lore. Thanks for the question. It is top 5, in no particular order, fictional couples. I ship so many things, it's ridiculous. So I just chose, like, the 5 that came to the top of my head that I ship so hard it hurts. So the first one's obviously Nalu, Natsu and Lucy. Duh. Next is Styles and Lydia from Teen Wolf, because who doesn't ship them? I mean, if you don't ship them, come on, what's wrong? Next is Percy and Annabeth. My beloved Percybeth from Percy Jackson. Oh my gosh, I ship them so hard. It's ridiculous. I shipped them before I even started the books. Next is Cyrus and Diana from the Ashtown Burial series by N.D. Wilson. This ship is just incredible. For one thing, she's a couple years older than him. She's like 4 years older than him, which I don't know why I love so much. It's always like the younger girl with the older guy. But he's like, in the first book, he's 12, I think. And she's like 16. And excuse my hair, I haven't brushed it. It's just bedhead. Anyway, so yeah, he was like the dorky little kid, and then like as the book series goes on, he like grows up and matures as he goes through things, and she's just kind of like, when did that happen? So it's just amazing. I love it. And then the last one is Ed and Winry from Fullmetal Alchemist, because yes, they're just perfect. So thanks so much for the question. Next is from Celestial Key Princess. Hey, my daughter. She asked, first question, is it weird that you're my mother? I guess, like, some people would think it's weird. I mean, I don't know. It's not weird to me. I'm odd, but yeah, I guess it's a little odd to be like your mother. I don't know. I still feel like I'm like 16, so I don't feel mature or old enough to have a child, but you know, I don't find it that weird. So, and the second question is, do you have any pets and what are they? This question's a little bit, like, weird. I have cats. They're not technically my cats, they're like the family's cats. They're barn cats, they just all live outside. So, I mean, technically they're pets, but also we basically just feed them, pet them sometimes. They're not like pets, you know, we don't take them to the vet or anything, because they don't hardly ever get sick or anything like that, but, yeah, so I have 9, I think. We had 8, because one ran away, but he recently just, like, showed up again. So, yeah, like 9 cats, but I want to get a fox so badly. I was just researching, like, the legal laws for the state I live in and all that, and, I can legally own a red fox, and I'm like, oh, I want one so bad. I just have to convince my parents, which, you know, my mom's like, no, we're not getting a fox. We're not keeping it in the house. She's very all outside animals, no indoor animals. So, moving on. This is a anonymous question. Several questions, actually. They asked, what's your Hogwarts house? I always thought I was a Hufflepuff. Like, that's just what I thought I was. I was like, oh yeah, that fits. I had somebody tell me I was sort of like a Ravenclaw sometimes. And then other times not. But, like, in my head, I was always like, yeah, I would like to be this, but I'm obviously a Hufflepuff. But I took several tests, and some of them said Hufflepuff, and then I took the Pottermore test, and it said Slytherin. And I've taken several tests, and they're equally divided between Hufflepuff and Slytherin. So, technically, I think I'm a Slytherin, but, like, I'm the stereotypical, personality-wise, of a Hufflepuff, I think. Because I'm, like, the sweet one, I don't get mad easily, but I have the personality type of a Slytherin, if that makes sense, because I can be very analytical and, like, strategic, and I can be extremely manipulative if I want to. I choose not to be, because manipulation is obviously horrible, but yeah, especially when I was little, I was like horribly manipulative. I was so manipulative. Oh my word. Okay, so anyway, Slytherin, but half Hufflepuff too. Then it's, what are your 5 top TV shows? I used to watch a ton more TV than I do. We don't have cable, so I just watch it all online. But lately I haven't watched a whole lot of TV. And I don't know if I have a top 5, but I just picked the 5 that like came to the top of my head that I still enjoy. Like, I still try to keep up with them and stuff. Teen Wolf, that's the only show I like wait for every new episode so far. But oh my gosh, like, you can judge me all you want. I love Teen Wolf so much. And the latest season, oh my word. If you watch Teen Wolf, feel free to come and scream with me about it anytime. I will happily freak out about it with you. And then The Walking Dead. Say what you will about The Walking Dead, I love it. I love the gore, I love the feels, I love it. It's awesome. Then Doctor Who. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I don't care. I love Doctor Who. And Supernatural. I mean, technically I'm part, when I was like 13, I identified as a super Who-lock, because I love Sherlock too, but, yeah, I'm not crazy. I do like watching Doctor Who, I do like watching Sherlock, I do like watching, Supernatural, but I'm not, like, crazy about it. I actually haven't caught up on Supernatural at all. And then Sleepy Hollow, if you haven't watched that, it's hilarious. I love the, man out of time stories, you know, like, old century thrown into the future, and he's just like, what is all this crazy stuff? Because it's stuff we take for granted, because, you know, we've grown up around it. But he's like, a shower? What is this? How does it work? It's magic. And it's just, it's great, and it's very cool. And then Once Upon a Time. I know that these all get, like, tons of, you know, whatever from online, but I was like, I don't care. I enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy what I enjoy. Alright, and then the next question is Nothing But Word Stuff. They asked, how do you usually break out of writer's block? I avoid writing at all costs. I don't, like, I've been in a huge writer slump for the past, like, 6 months, I think, and I've written hardly anything. Me starting my fanfiction, Saving a Dragon, actually is, like, sort of bumping me out of writer's block, I think. I have writer's block on the stories I'm currently involved in that I already started, which I need to finish those. I need to work on those. But after, I need to just go back and read what I've written so far for them so I can get back into the mindset of the story, because it's hard to get back into it. If you write, you know what it's like. But, yeah, so being in a different environment sometimes helps. I go and sit in the woods. I have forest in my backyard, a mountain right there. Or sit by the creek, or just be outside and just kind of sit and inhale the fresh air and listen to nature sounds, and or like, I don't know, just kind of like trying not to think about writing too much and going and doing other things, just doing something that kind of like clears your head, lets you kind of zone out and just think. I think that helps me a lot. Listening to music sometimes, just like going back and reading what I've already written for the story a lot of times helps me a lot, because I'll look back and remember some things maybe I started from the first chapters that I didn't remember later on, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do here. And I had kind of like gotten in a slump because I'd forgotten about that, and like I'm here and I'm like, well, I don't know what needs to happen here, and then I go back and look what I hinted at here, and I'm like, oh, that's what I wanted here. So, I mean, for everybody it's different, so just, you know, find what works for you, try a bunch of different things, yeah. And next question, do you like cupcakes? Who doesn't like Oh, actually, I know who doesn't like cupcakes. My youngest brother, he does not like cupcakes. He doesn't really like cake that much. I mean, he'll eat it, but he's never liked cupcakes, or cake very much. Like, his first birthday, I remember we had chocolate cupcakes, and we put one down in front of him, and he just sat there and stared at it. And he's like, what is this? And so my dad grabbed his little hand so that he was like this, and he stuck his finger in the icing. And my youngest brother hated getting his hands dirty. He hated it. He would scream, even from such a young age. So he just started screaming, like, and holding his hand out, like, you know, get it off me, get it off me, get it off me. And so my dad just grabbed it and stuck it in his mouth. And he's kind of like, this tastes good. And so then the rest of the day, he just kind of like would gently stick his finger in the icing and then like lick it off. And he did that. He didn't actually eat the cake. He just liked the icing. So yes, but I personally love cupcakes. Like, so much. And then Andrea Senpai, I think is how you say your name. There's a hyphen there. I don't know. Anyway, they asked, do you cook and do you like to cook? I do cook, and I do like to cook. I have to be in the right mood to cook, but I do really like cooking. I don't cook all that often because, like I said, I have to be in the right mood, but I do love to cook, and everything I have cooked, like when I cook a meal for the family, they all absolutely love it, so I guess I'm a good cook. I don't know. I get that from my dad. He's an excellent cook. So, yeah, I do like to cook, and I do cook. I like to try new dishes, like, experiment, like, ooh, this sounds good, I'm gonna make it, so. And then, if you had to live with someone for your entire life, who would it be? It would be my babe, the savvy ghost, Savannah. She, no matter how much we bicker and fight and get on each other's nerves, I think, like, if I had to live with somebody for the rest of my life, that I already know, like, the person I already know, it would be her. Because, I don't know, we bicker and fight, but we always make up in the end, so it'd be her. And then the same person, they asked, getting personal, last time you cried. I don't, it was, a couple nights ago. It wasn't, like, legit, though, because I was just trying to see if I could still cry on command, because I've always been able to ever since I was little. I could just be like, okay, I'm gonna cry now, and I'll cry. And so I was trying to see, I always thought I'd be a phenomenal actress if I could do that. But, anyway, so the other night I was like, I wonder if I could still do that. So, you know, I just started thinking about angsty things, and, sure enough, I was able to cry, and I was like, hey, what do you know? But, I mean, I guess that's technically the last time I cried, but I didn't, like, have a legit reason, I just did it. And then last time you got diarrhea, and they said, yes, I went there. I don't even remember, thank goodness. I don't know. And then, random questions for the anniversary by I Mate Connie. I probably butchered that pronunciation. First question, favorite animal? Foxes. Yeah, I love foxes. Or tigers. I love animals in general, but foxes and tigers are pretty much top of the list. Something which made you laugh so hard you cried. I thought about this question a lot, and I don't remember. I laugh a lot. I don't laugh until I cry a lot, because it takes quite a bit to make me cry usually, and, I've only laughed until I'd cried usually when I'm really tired, and everything is funny, and it's just something really stupid. That's probably what it was. It was probably when I was over at my babe's house, and we were a little bit tipsy, and one of us said something really stupid, and we just laughed. Because I remember laughing until I couldn't breathe, but I don't remember if I actually, like, cried or not. But I guess that counts if you laugh until you can't breathe. And then, would you read some phrase or sentence of a book you like reading? Okay, so, I have a book prepared. It's actually the first book in the Ashtown Burials series, The Dragon's Tooth. Cover is amazing. That's Cyrus. And I'm going to read, I love the whole book, so I'm going to read the inside cover and the back, which has a little excerpt from the book. So, the little, like, phrase at the top is, Initiates rise, sign your name in the book, welcome to Ashtown. And here's the summary of the story. For 2 years, Cyrus and Antigone Smith have run a sagging roadside motel with their older brother Daniel. Nothing ever seems to happen. Then, a strange old man with bone tattoos arrives, demanding a specific room. Less than 24 hours later, the old man is dead, the motel has burned, and Daniel is missing. And Cyrus and Antigone are kneeling in a crowded hall, swearing an oath to an order of explorers who have long served as caretakers of the world's secrets, keepers of powerful relics from lost civilizations, and jailers to unkillable criminals who have terrorized the world for millennia. It's awesome. And then here is the back cover. Boy, you ever seen a lightning bug? The old man held out a glass cube. Frozen in its center was a heavy black beetle. Cyrus closed his fingers around the glass. Careful, she's hot, the old man said. Electricity shot up Cyrus's arm. He staggered backward and swung his arm down. Glass shattered on the asphalt as the beetle tumbled free. With a pop and a crackle, it launched, blue electric arcs trailing from its abdomen and flickering between its wings. Cyrus's feet began to tingle. He spun, asphalt tearing at the balls of his feet as he scrambled toward the motel. 10 strides, and he'd reached the front door. He jerked it open. Thunder knocked him forward. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. This is just the first book, the introduction to the story. It spirals into just crazy stuff. It is full of feels and humor, and just like you're constantly wondering, who do I trust? You know, who's in the wrong here? Who's actually the bad guy? You see people dying. You see, you know, them try to figure things out. The bad guys are very dark and creepy, and it's just amazing. I would definitely recommend it if you like fantasy type adventure novels. Like, check it out. Anyway, that's all the questions I have, and once again, thank you so much for 700 followers. It's crazy how many there is. If you're reading my new fic, Saving a Dragon, thanks a lot. It's a story I've been thinking about for a really long time, and slowly developing my brain. It's definitely Naalu-centered. There's some hints of Greylu. Later there will be Gruvia, Jerza, Gajevi, just all the ships basically, but it will be more subtle. I might do a spin-off, like, short story about Grey and Juvia. We'll see how much I put of them in the actual story, but if you would like that, you know, feel free to be like, hey, yeah, that'd be a good idea. If you read it on fanfiction.net, I would love reviews. Like, they really help me to see what people think of it and what they would like to see more of, or if I'm doing anything wrong, or if they just loved it. It really motivates me to write. Like, you have no idea. It's crazy, and it will literally make my day. Like, I'll think about it all day, probably all week, because I'm a loser. But then, yeah, and if you read it on Tumblr and reblog it, likes are awesome, reblogs are phenomenal. If you leave something like, ooh, great story, or ooh, loved it in the tags, I will literally remember it forever, and I will love you forever. I'll just be like, oh, that person left nice tags on my story. But, I mean, don't feel pressured to. I mean, it would be really nice if you did, but, you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you didn't do that, how dare you. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for 700 followers. This video is pretty long, sorry about that. But I will see you all later.